morning, dear students. Today, let us continue with the further part of the lesson, that is food for all. So, now you all will open page number 61, and now we are going to study the point, that is visit to a fair price shop. So, just look on the screen now. You can see a picture where there is a window and a person is sitting inside, and there are many people in front of him standing in a queue. Now inside this shop you can also see a person wedging something. There is a wedge machine, yeah, and a person who is outside who has come there to buy it. So what is this? This is a fair price shop. Fair price shop, which is also called as public distribution system. Yes, so now I'll explain you what is a fair price shop. This is a shop for the people who have low income. Yes, so the people who have low income can come and buy the food grains in this shop at a lower price. Now how can they buy? They have certain card with them. That card is called as a ration card. Yes, so they can take those ration cards and every month they get the food grains here. So they come with their card and then according to the card they are given the food grains. So which food grains do they get here? So daily used food grains like rice, wheat are distributed in this shop. This is called as a rationing system. Yeah. Also sometimes sugar, dals is also provided, but mostly rice and wheat is given. So in the textbook they have asked you to visit a fair price shop to understand the rationing system. Public distribution system means here only the people who have low income and the people who have ration cards can come and buy the food grains at a lower price. They have also asked you to observe the different kinds of grains available there and if possible the types of ration cards. So the grains which are available here are mostly wheat and rice, okay, and the ration cards are there of colors like orange, etc. Okay, so I hope you have understood about the fair price shop. Now let's move on to the next point of the lesson, that is the green revolution. Yeah, so let's start with it. We all know that today our country is self-reliant as far as production of food grain is concerned. Means we are not dependent on others for the production of food grain. We ourselves are producing different types of food grains. Yes or no? And we also are able to export the surplus grains. Means our grains are also exported to different part of the country. The tremendous increase in the food grain production in our country was achieved during the Green Revolution. So Green Revolution means you can see the greenery is obtained, that is by growing the crops, and the tremendous increase in this food grain, yeah, the food grain production in our country was only achieved during the Green Revolution. Okay, now who all helped in this? So it was brought about by the joint efforts of scientists, also because of the people who are working for the spread of science, and farmers. So these three people or three people, you can say, like scientists or the people who are working for the spread of science and farmers, they brought this green revolution. And the credit for the research that led to improvement in seed of wheat and rice that resulted in green revolution in India goes to Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So the main credit of improvement in seeds, mainly of wheat and jawar, which are our basic need. Every day we need this food, rice or wheat, you can say. So improvement in seeds of wheat and rice was brought by that resulted in green revolution in India goes to Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Okay. Let us now study about the next point, that is food security. As we all know that a food is a basic need of every living thing on the earth. Yes, so food should be secured or saved for each one of us. Yeah, so in many countries in our on our earth have made laws to ensure that every person gets sufficient food according to their need. Yes, so in each and every country this law is made so that nobody remains hungry, no living organism or no human being remains hungry. So every country has a law that it takes care that each and every person gets sufficient food, and this law is known as food security law. Okay, so these laws whatever are implemented are known as food security laws. And when was this food security law enacted in our country? In 2013 our country too enacted a food security law. Yes, so always remember, in India food security law was enacted in 2013. And what has happened because of this law? There we can see good or positive things, or the advantages of it. That is, it has made it possible to fight ills like malnutrition, starvation, and deaths due to hunger. Malnutrition means when we don't get adequate nutrients, whatever human being should get. If they don't get, then the child become very thin. You can see in the pictures on the screen. Yeah, so that is called as malnutrition. Starvation means with hunger, when the child or any person who don't get food on right time, he feels hungry, and that hungriness is called as starvation. Lack of food is called as starvation. And children, it because of this there are also deaths due to hunger. So as this law is enacted in India, from that time we have malnutrition, starvation, like this ills are less nowadays. Okay, so food security is must. Okay, now let's move on to the next point, that is agricultural assistance program. Okay, so what happens through these programs? Farmers are given proper information and guidance about the latest technology, irrigation facilities, improved seeds, use of fertilizers and pesticides, etc. Okay, now see, whenever we start something new, we should know something about it. For that we have to learn something related to that. Yes or no? So in the same way, farmers are also guided. Yeah, means they are given information or they are given guidance about the latest technology whatever are implemented or started in our country. Information related to that is provided to the farmers. Yeah, all whatever latest technologies are there related to that. Then different irrigation facilities we have studied, that is drip irrigation, sprinkle irrigation. When they were new, they were taught, like this information was given to the farmers, how to use the improved seeds, which seeds to use of fertilizers and pesticides, how much fertilizers or pesticides should be used, because we have seen side effects or disadvantage of them also. Yeah, so all this information or guidance is given to the farmers through this program. Which program? Agricultural assistant program. They can also get weather forecast and other agriculture related information from this assistance center. Weather forecast means they get information about the weather. Yes, and also they get information about other agricultural related information through this assistance centers. Yeah, so these assistance centers help the farmers to get information related to agriculture. In addition, agricultural schools have also been started for farmers. Yes, this is a very interesting thing. Agricultural schools are started Oh, these are mainly for the farmers only. So what happens? Members of farmers family can learn about new technologies at this school. What is the use of this school? To learn the new technologies about the farming. Yes, so when the farmers family, any member goes in that particular school, they can learn about the new technologies in this school. Next, agricultural produce marketing committees hold exhibitions too for farmers. So in these agriculture assistant programs, lot of programs are carried out. One of that is agriculture produce marketing committees hold exhibitions. How we have exhibitions of different food items or different things, yeah, in the same way agriculture produce marketing committees also arrange the exhibitions for the farmers to know about different implements, to know about different chemicals, to know about improved seeds or how to utilize them. So like this exhibitions are also held. Next, the agriculture department of the government, agriculture universities, television, newspapers and various periodicals work for the spread of modern methods of agriculture. Now we have seen that mostly the farmers are illiterate, means they are not too educated. Yes, nowadays they are educated, earlier farmers were not so educated. So children, what was done? Agriculture universities or the government department, yeah, they or through some acts, through televisions, through some pictures, through newspapers or through periodicals, they started or they are still sending the information related to modern methods of agriculture, so that farmer is updated with different technologies. Yeah, next, that is, now it is possible for all farmers to use these modern methods to increase production. So as government is taking lot of efforts, nowadays it is possible for all the farmers to make use of this modern methods. Many of you may have the occupation as agriculture, yes? So you also have seen your parents or your grandparents, uncles and aunties are implementing modern methods, and because of that you are also increasing your production in agriculture. Okay, so the whole country benefits from these efforts. Yeah, so this is what agricultural assistance program do for the farmers of our country. Do you know organic farming? So let's now understand what is meant by organic farming. So the farming that relies on natural material or organic material is called as organic farming. Yes, so it is one of the form of traditional agriculture, means the agriculture which is carried on for many years. It is like that form. So what is done in this agriculture? In this method, the nutritive substances in the soil are retained. So a crop requires nutritive substance to grow, isn't it? So that nutritive substance are retained in this method, means they are gained again and again. It is not lost. Okay, the organic pesticides used in this method do not harm any crop, yeah, or this the organic pesticides which are used in this method have no harmful effects on those who eat the produce. Yeah, so you all may be knowing natural material is used, thus whatever material or whatever food is produced through this method, it is not harmful. The grains grown by this method is nutritious. They have good and proper nutritious and also good to the taste. When the grains will be nutritious, of course the food will be tasty, isn't it? So that is why farmers have begun to opt for organic farming method, because by making use of fertilizers, by making use of chemicals, it has harmful effects. Yes, to prevent those, nowadays mostly the farmers adapt, or they want, or they practice organic farming method, because the whatever grains they produce because of this organic method, there is no any harmful effect from it, and the grains have total nutritions, they are nutritious, and the food prepared from these grains is very tasty. Now, what does organic farming involves? It involves use of organic manures, you can see on the screen, yeah, from plants and animals. So whatever dead plants and animals are there, even the bones of the animals, from that whatever nutrient is produced, that is involved in organic farming. So manure obtained from animals consist of bone meal, fish, animal excreta, as well as decomposed remains of the animals. Yeah, so this all things are included in manure which is used in organic farming. Okay, so students, I hope you have understood about organic farming. In short, organic farming means the farming which totally depends on natural material, like the manure obtained from the plants and animals, such as the remains of plants, remains of animals. Okay, also it consists of fish and bone meal, animal excreta, remains or decomposed remains of plants and animals. Okay, so students, always remember, crops should be watered only as much as necessary. When the farmer is growing the crops, or if you are doing this activity, you should give only sufficient amount of water to the crop. Care should be taken when using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, because we have learned its side effects, yes or no? So if you are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, care should be taken even of yourself and also of the crops. Their overuse should be avoided. Whose overuse? Chemical fertilizers and pesticides overuse, extra use should be avoided. So students, what have we learnt in this lesson? There are two main agricultural seasons, the Kharif and the Rabi season. Using improved methods of farming leads to an increase in production. And the last point, that is, farmers can get information about modern agriculture technology through agricultural assistant program. So I hope you all have understood the lesson. So the homework for you all is to read the lesson and understand the concepts more clearly.